Hello and welcome back to the Raw and the rest of the another edition of Raw out of 10. And just 5 days before WrestleMania 41, Raw emanated its go-home show with some of the biggest stars in the industry as we build up towards the show with a particular focus on Saturday's main event, CM Punk, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. But we also built up to several other matches, including Gunther, who delivered the best promo of his WWE career, a defiant one in response to Jey Uso's threat from a week ago. Despite claiming to be in full control of his actions and not being shaken by a number one contender, he was clearly rattled as he vowed to defeat Uso Saturday night in Vegas. For all of his claims that he's in control, he clearly wasn't. This is not the ring general we're familiar with. He marched the ring ahead of schedule, Wall Street closed, and let the reaction from the WWE universe frustrate him. He lacked the confidence that's been a trademark of his career in WWE. Gunther unravelled before arising, no promise to beat Uso for the fourth consecutive time will change what fans witness in the opening segment. The challenger at WrestleMania 41 may not be afraid of the ring general, but this proves the same cannot be said in regards to Gunther and Uso. But moving on then to the first match of the night, and it's Liv Morgan against Bayley. Morgan has never defeated Bayley in singles competition. That didn't change on Raw. While the action breaking down late in the match, Raquel Rodriguez booted down Lyra, only to beat a stunner from Bayley. Morgan attempted to capitalise with the Oblivion, only for Valkyria to assist her tag partner in blocking the move. The role model earned a victory from there, building even more momentum for her and Valkyria ahead of Sunday's match against the Women's Tag Champions. The second week, a second strong showing from Bayley, who remains as good as ever between the rates, even if her creative lacks. She and Valkyria may not win the titles this weekend, but if they can bring the same chemistry we saw here, then yeah, we're going to be in for a treat in terms of matchup. So yeah, this was really good stuff and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Good stuff. But moving on then to Rey Mysterio against Julius Creed, and Mysterio appears to regain momentum ahead of WrestleMania, defeating Julius in a strong contest Monday night, only for El Grande Americano to lay him out. His mask load of metal fended off LWO during an attempted save and left them line 2. The attack came at the conclusion of the match, in which Creed continued to press with his raw athleticism and ability to work great matches against any opponent from any background. There was a spot or two that wasn't exactly smooth, but Creed and Mysterio recovered nicely, and the result was a match that earned a chance of "This is awesome" from the fans in Sacramento. The match between Mysterio and El Grande Americano has the potential to be a fun one, with potential day to WrestleMania IX and a double doink spot in the form of Americano and Gable going to the same place at the same time. So yeah, this was good stuff. 7 out of 10 from me. The biggest takeaway of the next match, AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, was not the phenomenal one's victory ahead of his showdown with Logan Paul, but rather the renewed emphasis on Karrion Kross. He was the star here, working through a spot or two that didn't go as planned, and still turning in a performance that gave fans a reason to suspect he may be in line for a post Mania push. After Styles delivered the phenomenal forearm that earned him the victory, Logan Paul interrupted and threw to a highlight reel featuring his greatest in-ring exploits. Kross attacked Styles, who fended them off, but fell to the pulverizer as the social media star stood tall to close out their match. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, a pretty decent match. Great win for AJ Styles. And yeah, I thought building up Kross nice as well, while also building to the match on Saturday. But in response to Gunther's warning earlier and in preparation for the biggest match of his career at WrestleMania, Jey Uso entered the arena through the crowd and proceeded to cut a promo on the commentary table. Uso claims the ring general was afraid that he was going to get him at the Allegiant Stadium on Saturday. It was short, sweet and to the point. There was nothing left to say. Uso issued his warning to Gunther last week, and after calling him out, he returned to the fans who had been so instrumental in providing him with this opportunity. Next up, ahead of Sunday's Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship, Benta squared off with Balor in a contest between two important figures in pro wrestling modern day. Balor reminded the world he's a former world champion, taking the fight to Luke Jaws and even surviving the sacrifice armbreaker to stay in the fight. The Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio and Carlito made their presence felt later on before the IC champion Braun Breaker hit the ring. The Badass punished Mysterio and Carlito with a double spear and set up to deliver the pertaining to Penta, only to join the Judgment Day on the floor when Penta wiped him out with a plancha. This was a solid match that led to more of the same creatively from these four superstars. The weekend's bout will most likely be excellent, but the bill will be rather one-dimensional in recent weeks, mostly centralising on Balor and Mysterio's diminishing relationship as personal desires trump what's best for the Judgment Day. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought, an intriguing way to build up a bit, not the most hype match, the 4-way, but I thought this was a decent way to build for it. And yeah, I'm intrigued by the outcome of that. I think it's very open. 6 out of 10. Finally, just days before they take centre stage in the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 41, Seth Rollins sent a message to Punk and Reigns, leaving both lying and Heyman terrified to close the show. The Visionary capitalised on the brawl that ensued Punk and the Tribal Chief after Reigns shoved Heyman to the ground. With both men distracted, Rollins delivered a steel chair shot to Reigns, a la the one that the Shield broke up with over a decade ago, then put the exclamation point with a stomp to Punk. Before that, Reigns and Rollins agreed on one thing: Heyman making good on Punk's favour to accompany him to the ring at WrestleMania was a choice, but why? That was the question, and that will likely be answered in Vegas. For now, it's solid if unspectacular segment, added nothing of note, but it's an intriguing way to end the show. The callback was great, and yeah, I'm very excited for this match. And overall, Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 for me. I think, it wasn't a groundbreaking episode of Raw. There's some really decent stuff on there. With some great matches, but yeah, I thought on the whole decent, but nothing really groundbreaking because we've done most of our build to WrestleMania already. So yes, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.